the comic is Black Cat Chronicles, the GREYFRIARS Cemetery. It is truth is scarier than fiction. So that particular storyline, we've actually been there. So we've been to Scotland. We went on a tour and got a lot of the history of the Royal Mile in Scotland. One of the creepiest stories that we heard, there's many. Scotland's a very haunted city.
Yes, it is. Edinburgh.
There's some messed up things that happen in Scotland. So one of the many horrible stories along the way was the story of the GREYFRIARS Cemetery at the end of the Royal Mile in Scotland. And up until very recently, when the cemetery was open to the public, people were getting scratched and bit and pushed down, and pregnant women were fainting, and all kinds of things were happening in the cemetery. So much so that they ended up closing it to the public. So now it's a hazard for people to just walk through the cemetery because it's so haunted by these crazy poltergeists. And so lo and behold, they try to figure out what exactly it is that's causing all this havoc. And they realize that there's a horrible sadistic person buried there named George Bloody Mackenzie, who was known to torture and kill the Covenanters, which is a religious sect in Scotland in the 16th century. And they are buried next to each other. So on one side of the cemetery is George Mackenzie's tomb, and on the other side of the cemetery are the people that he killed and tortured. So that's fun. So long story short, there's a lot of really weird stuff that has happened since the beginning of the Bloody Revolution and all the way up until the present time. So there's 200 to 300 years of weird stuff that have happened. Exorcisms, deaths, mysterious hauntings and scratches and bites and all kinds of crazy. So we're trying to bring that story to life through our first issue of Black Cat Chronicles called The GREYFRIARS Cemetery.
We've been into comics a long time. We've been selling comics a long time. And it's really fun to now get into another aspect of that. Instill our creative juices into comics and become another part of the industry.
Our main goal as publishers is to make, good story, good art. That's it. Create the stuff that we want to read. So that's our motivation for creating the publishing arm, as well as diving into this first series of, hopefully, like I said, many comics to come. He's extremely talented. We're extremely lucky to have him. He's taken my vision and put it on page, and it's perfect and amazing and detailed, and you guys are going to fall in love with him.
You're going to love the pages. You're going to love the preview.
On October 1st, we're going live with the Kickstarter, and we have a midnight campaign. So for the first 24 hours of the Kickstarter, you'll be able to get a digital copy, a print copy, a mention in the thank you page, a sticker, and a bookmark for only $10.
So there you go. Like I say, we're really jazzed to see all this happening. We were super excited to get the art back and looked gorgeous.
Oh, I was in tears.
And we're excited to finally let you all in on the whole project and get everybody behind it and start producing real copies of that book.
One of the things that we talked about when we were thinking about doing this years ago was that this is a community effort. Like, we can't run our store successfully without you guys. We can't be here to talk about comics without you guys. Like, this is a joint communal effort. And so the Kickstarter, sure, we could have tried to find the money behind the scenes and try to steal over here and take from over there to try to make it happen, but we wanted to include you guys as part of the creation process. So kind of that's why we're doing it through Kickstarter. We want to include you, we want you to be part of the process, we want you to see our progress as things move on, and to get you more involved, just like we have since day one of opening the store.
Like we have all along.